Hi. So, I am trying to start a vlog and explain our daily lives with Brayden, living with Hirschsprung disease and short bowel syndrome, which causes us to have a central line through the Braviac, and it causes us to have a G-tube and an ostomy. Yeah. Yeah. So, he's playing. Can you say hey? 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 So Brayden has Hirschsprung's, and Hirschsprung affects 1 in 5,000 babies. And Hirschsprung's is lack of ganglion cells. And not many people, myself included, didn't know what ganglion cells were. I've never heard of them, never in my wildest dreams would I've ever thought I would know what ganglion cells are. But ganglion cells are nerve-like cells that work in a wave, and they go from your esophagus to your anus. And the ganglion cells, like I said, they work in a wave, and they push they push your food down your esophagus, through your stomach, down your small, down your large, and out your bottom. Well, Brayden lacks ganglion cells, which causes a Hirschsprung. So that means that Brayden has no ganglion cells in his large intestine, and he only has no ganglion cells in a little bit of his small intestine. He still has a part of his ileum, duodenum, and there's another one that I can't remember right now. And then his stomach has ganglion, and his esophagus has ganglion. So he does have ganglion cells. He just lacks some. He has 170 centimeters of ganglion cells from the small intestine up. The part that does not have ganglion cells is outside of his stomach. It is a stoma. It's in the ileum part. So Brayden has an ileostomy, and that is where we brought out the very last bit of good intestine that carries the ganglion cells. We brought it outside of his stomach wall, you can see it, and we put a bag over it, and Brayden poops in that bag because his large and a little bit of his small does not work. He will have some mucus that comes out of his bottom into his diaper. That pretty much, the mucus is just kind of his large and a little bit of the small just kind of shedding its layers. It's alive, it just doesn't carry ganglion, so you can't really utilize it that much. So he doesn't poop in a diaper, he just has mucus and urine. What else? So since Brayden lacks ganglion cells in part of the small intestine, that makes him short bowel. That makes him have short gut. So it's short bowel syndrome. That's really what puts us with the feeding tube, with the G-tube, and the Braviac, is because he lacks the amount of intestinal length to absorb whatever his body intakes. Short gut is very common. Anybody can become short gut in their life. It does not necessarily come just from Hirschsprung's. It can come from anything. Anything. A second from now, your intestines can just twist and kink and block off flow and die. I mean, anybody can be short gut. It is amazing the ages and the people that become short gut every single day. It's manageable. It's hard. Hirschsprung's is hard. Very stressful. But the studies and the tests and things that, you know, these doctors are doing now than what they could do back then are tremendously improving every single day. We're grateful for the knowledge and, you know, just the knowledge, the knowledge that these doctors and nurses and everybody, these moms, these dads, these aunts, these uncles, grandparents, sisters, brothers, cousins, you know, it's one big family with even, it's just one big family. Brayden has the rarest form of Hirschsprung's. Hirschsprung is already rare, but Brayden has what we call Total Colonic Hirschsprung's. And that means that more than the large is infected. More than the large intestine was infected with no ganglion cells. There's really not much to say. I mean, that's pretty much, you know, Hirschsprung's and short bowel wrapped up. I could talk about it for days upon days upon days upon days. I mean, I enjoy when people ask me in public, you know, sorry, Brayden dropped the phone. I enjoy when people ask me out in public, hey, you know, what's that tube hanging from him? You know, what's wrong with him? It doesn't bother me. I will politely tell you about it and spread the awareness. Some people know, and some people have heard of Hirschsprung's or short gut, and some people look at you like I looked at Dr. Pipkin 16 months ago when he told Grant and I, and just kind of like, what? Hirschsprung's? Never heard of it. Okay, whatever. It's amazing the people that will go home and look into it and message me and say, oh my gosh, you know, thank you for bringing this to my attention. You know, it's very refreshing for people to have knowledge on Brayden's condition. It's just, it's amazing. Many people know that we are seen in Boston. We travel to Boston every 2 months for the care program. They specialize in short gut. They do specialize in Hirschsprung's, but it's more of a short gut management due to Brayden being on TPN and the G-tube feeds, the feeding tube. So they work with Brayden. They work with Augusta. We still go to, you know, Augusta and the Children's Hospital here. We still go there for like emergencies at home. If the Broviac was to stop working, or if Brayden, you know, pulls his G-tube out, or whatever it be, we're going to go here locally. We're not going to have time to hop in the plane and go to Boston. That's redundant. Boston pretty much manages our care, yes, but they manage the TPN, like our medicine. Oh! Okay, sorry. I think we're better. It's nap time. Grandma had us shopping today. I don't remember where I left off, but Boston manages Brayden's TPN, kind of, you know, when we need to go up on feeds, when we need to go down on G-tube feeds, where we need to be with a bottle, where we need to be with, you know, oral intake, just pretty much nutrition. So we're thankful for that. We started going to Boston back in October because back in July of last year, we saw a GI specialist locally, and from May when we came home last year to July, Brayden was just not thriving. When you looked at him, his eyes were yellow. His body was orange. He was in 0 to 3 months. Clothing, I mean, he just wasn't gaining weight, just not thriving whatsoever. In and out of the hospital constantly. We literally would be discharged and go back the next day. So finally, the GI doctor here in July just kind of told us, hey, you know, he's not thriving. I don't know what else I can do for him. Let's look into getting a second opinion. I don't mind, you know, having another team help me. So thank gosh that, you know, the GI doctor mentioned that, because there's another child that's 3 months younger than 3 months younger than Brayden, who has the same thing that Brayden does, the total colonic and the short gut. So me and this child's mom kind of shared the same GI doctor. The only thing different is we have different surgeons, but the surgeon team all works together. So we pretty much have the same surgeon. It's just different. We have the same team, but different surgeon. We got together and we were like, hey, you know, the GI doctor doesn't know what to do. Our kids are not thriving. Where are you going? And I told her that I was thinking about Cincinnati, because Cincinnati was number 1 at the time for GI and number 2 for Children's Hospital altogether. And she said, well, I'm thinking about going to Boston. They're number 2 for GI and number 1 for Children's Hospital. So it was tit for tat. It all boiled down to who got in touch with us quicker, and it was Boston. I never got a phone call from Cincinnati, ever. I called them 3 times. Nothing. Same thing with the other mom. So, Boston, that's how we chose Boston. We kind of chose it together as medical moms and thinking that that was the best for our child. Thank gosh that God led us that path. So that's how we got to Boston. We go every 2 months for checkups. Brayden is thriving, doing well, fixing. We are on the hopes and slopes of potentially getting off of TPN soon, which is a lifesaver. Yeah, it is. It's a lifesaver. We are going up on formulas. We're changing to a junior formula, which means for toddlers, because Ken's a toddler. We are doing so much better than what we were back in October of last year. So it's just good. We are very sticklers about, since I'm a medical mom, I don't know, I'm kind of funny about people kissing Brayden. Grant and I don't really allow people to kiss him. It's just not it's not that we're trying to control the situation, but Brayden is very susceptible to, is very susceptible to getting infections, and just, if Brayden spikes 100.4 of a fever, we immediately have to go to the ER. Immediately. Like a normal situation with a normal child, the parents can give Tylenol and wait it out. We are told to give Tylenol and head to the ER. So I just try and prevent people. I feel like that's a big preventative way to not spread sicknesses and illnesses to Brayden. It's hard. It's hard being that parent that has to constantly watch loved ones who love Brayden. It's hard to watch them want to kiss him and knowing that they can't. It breaks my heart. I feel like a bad person, but I have to do what's best for Brayden. And that's not even a medical mom. There are so many people out there who have normal kids, and it's the safest thing to do. The safest thing. And, you know, some people say, oh, just don't kiss them on the lips. I say don't kiss them, period. That's just me. That's Grant. You know, it's a mutual thing. There it is. What else? I don't know. This is the first, or maybe the second one, video of mine that I'm gonna post on the vlog, and I'm new. I'm new to talking to a camera about my problems. Normally, I have my best friend on the phone, and I'm saying, Jennifer, this is what's going on. Let me tell you about it. So maybe this will be new. Let me hear questions or inputs or whatever you have for us. I would love, you know, Grant's willing to get in videos. I'm sure grandparents would love it. I'm sure cousins would love it. Just ask us. No question is too vague. No question is stupid. I love it. You know, many people know that, you know, I'm going to answer them the best way that I know how. No, I did not do drugs while I was pregnant. No, this is incurable. No, I didn't know during pregnancy that I would have a child as special and beautiful and Hirschsprung bound as Brayden. No, none of this is detected during pregnancy whatsoever. It is genetics. Me nor Grant have done the genetic testing to see, you know, whose side it carries. So we don't know, we don't blame, we don't point fingers. We never have, we never will. When we do get genetic testing, it's only going to give us an answer. It's not something to where we can point fingers. We do want more children, maybe one more. Whenever Brayden is a little bit older, I would say probably around 5 or 6 years old, to where he can kind of say, hey mom, I'm having an off day or whatever, and you know, maybe we'll be a little bit more normal than on schedule wise and everything. So yeah, I'm gonna end it right there. I'm gonna get this little one down for a nap, and maybe we'll talk to y'all next week. Can you say bye and blow kiss? Can you blow kiss? Mwah. Bye. Mwah. Tell him bye-bye. Blow it. You gotta blow the kiss. Mwah. Thank y'all for watching. See you next week.